What is a clear sign of you getting older? When the checkout girl at the local drug mart gave me a discount and I asked why the discount and she said seniors discount. I was maybe 57 at the time. I didn't know whether to be outraged or happy about getting a few bucks off. My husband got the seniors discount at Popeyes without asking and he's only 34 LMAO. 40 is a weird age. Everyone older says you're so young. Everyone younger thinks you're so old. Congratulations. At 40, you are legally an older adult as defined by the Age Discrimination in Employment Act. 50 is the old age of youth. And the youth of old age. When I watched professional sports and all the players looked like children. Baseball, football, tennis to etc. You start doing the math and realize you're basically watching a glorified pee-wee game. I feel this. Especially watching college sports and realizing my oldest is going to college next year. It's crazy. Same when you go to the pub, you start thinking, why are they letting all these children in? When they tear down a building that you remember getting built. Haven't experienced that. But that feel though when a place you used to work in your hometown is now a parking lot. Let's go to that restaurant you like. We haven't been there in ages. Closed 10 years ago. Haven't gone to a wedding in a very long time. Have gone to a few funerals, though. Unbelievably. I didn't go to a wedding as an adult until I was 27. Next one should be my sister in early 2023. I know people who are on a conveyor belt of random weddings and it just never seems to stop. Previous weddings had young me in attendance only because my parents had been invited and kids were allowed. When you've seen multiple decades of fashion trends come back into play with the young crowd. I laughed when I saw a pair of JNCO jeans being sold as vintage ultra baggy denim in a trendy secondhand shop near work. It boggled my mind that people actually wanted to wear those again. But my 20-something co-worker was like, oh yeah. They go for like a few $100 or more now. I then showed the youngsters pics of how impractical garbage they were if worn in rain, snow, and the developing heel strap after about a month of dragging on the ground. They all still want them. And they said it's cool because no one wears them that long anymore. Case in point. The next day I saw a teen wearing a pair. Only they stopped just above her ankles. Didn't think that look could get worse, but the kids have gone and done it. This emo goth culture was really big when I was in high school circa 2004. Apparently now it's back and mixed with hentai and that's called being an e-girl boy or something. I dunno, kids are wild and always will be. Rock on, youth. You are more aware of others wasting their time. Yes. And of their wasting your time. I used to sneak out of home to go to parties. Now I sneak out of parties to go home. Your next stage of old is not going to parties in the first place. 58 meters, where do I start? 30s, didn't brush off that wipeout on my bike like I did in my 20s. 40s, had to stop eating like I was 20. Visits to my family physician became much more frequent. 50s, takes much longer to get out of bed. Back and joints ache continually. As I approach my 60s. My friend and family pool is getting smaller as they start to pass on. Spend more time reminiscing about the past than looking to the future. Life goes by quick, don't waste it. I wish there was a way to know you are in the good old days before you've actually left them. Andy Bernard. I'll be 35 in 4 days and I miss all my old friends that had families and moved on. Spend more time reminiscing about the past than looking to the future. I agree with this so much. 58, I find myself calling one of my brothers to ask seemingly inane questions about our childhood. I'm just trying to remember what I long ago forgot. Advice from somebody just a bit younger than you. Start eating healthy. Take up hobbies. Start making memories again. No way am I gonna surrender. Semicolon. Come on, we know about where's the beef. We know stuff. Go make memories and have fun. I'm going hiking now. We're growing in places where hair shouldn't be. Seriously, what is this bullshit that I have to shave my ears now? Exclamation point. Making noises when sitting up and down. Our dog is getting old. And whenever she stands up, she makes these little groaning noises. I thought it was cute and funny until the day I realized that I, too, make those noises whenever I stand up. I'm 19 and do this. I guess I got this habit from my dad. People in positions of power being younger than you. Your primary care physician looks like she's about 17. Mary Queen of Scots became queen at 6 days old. When I was 6 days old I was so lazy all I did was eat, sleep and poop. I was so unambitious I wouldn't even change my soiled undergarments myself. I brought such shame to my family. I don't care about how I look without makeup anymore. I can't even see enough to put makeup on, lol. I do appreciate this part of getting older. I have so many less fucks to give. It's freeing. I've noticed this recently. A combination of the pandemic lockdowns negating any need for makeup and reaching a point in life where I don't give a shit. Plus I think our perception of what is good looking becomes more broad and generous as we get older. I appreciate my face more than I used to. I used to use the pull-up bar to make my arms big. I now use the pull-up bar to decompress my spine. It's also amazing for shoulder pain. Valuing your sleep and at least trying to follow a decent sleep schedule. I just can't do it if I don't. In younger years I could take on an army with 4 hours. Now 6 hours isn't even enough to piss straight. Ooh, I like their cabinetry while watching an exciting action movie. I showed my aunt Breaking Bad and she couldn't stop talking about how nice Walter's house was. Who is going to pay for all this? After an explosion. 10 years ago feels like 2 years ago. 1990 is forever etched in my mind as 10 years ago. I got out of the military 11 years ago. Those 4 years I was in still feel like a year or two ago. 4 years of college afterwards feels like it didn't even exist in comparison. Weird how the brain decides which memories to keep. I keep thinking of things I did in the early 2010s as recent events, and I'll be damned if I stop. Having no idea what the latest trends are in pop culture. And not caring either. It's so freeing. When you stop going back to bed after getting up at night to pee. And just put the coffee on. That greatly depends on which nightly pee I'm on. If it's my 11 midnight pee. Back to bed. 2 AM pee. Back to bed. 5 AM pee. EHH. Might as well get up. Those are the standard 3. Every once in a while I'll get a straggler 3:30p. When I have one of those, it's back to bed. You start getting wisdom moments. Understanding why things happened and but too. Being more compassionate towards mistakes of others because you're shitty yourself and you know it. This one hits it for me. I think I have become much more patient with idiots than before. I want to add though, I also see through bullshit and have no fear calling it out. Now, I mean, who's going to smack some old man for mouthing off? Yikes. Yes, this I did a big fuck up in my 20s. Now when I see people doing the same thing, I don't judge. I just feel sorry for them because they probably won't understand the negative ramifications until they're older. Media songs, movies, games you grew up with start being referred to as classics. The first time I heard Nirvana on the classic rock station, I died a little inside. This is the trippiest thing for me. How is early 2000s music already old school? Question mark. Hearing Blink 182 in a grocery store killed me. I heard Metallica playing in the grocery store. Initially, I was jamming before reality slapped me with a wake-up call. I am getting older quicker than I realize. Teens tell you I love era when you grew up. I wish I grew up way back then. So, here are a few positive signs of aging. You recognize something is a dumb idea before you do it. You handle your own shit, clean up your own mess, rather than leaving it for someone else to deal with. Your immediate desire or impulse doesn't obscure every other factor when making an important decision. There are more, but you get the idea. Thank you for this. It's nice to see a positive even if I had to scroll this far down. This thread was seriously depressing me and I'm 29. Referring to people under 30 as kids. I caught myself saying he was just a kid about Anton Yelchin recently even though he was 27. Also my knees sounding like bubble wrap when I kneel down. You hear all types of pops and clicks in your body. I just tell people I'm a crunchy human. Back pain. Waking up every day with a new random pain somewhere. Probably partly some arthritis too. The feeling of not waking up hungover sounds better to you than a night of partying. I get hungover without even getting drunk now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more Reddit videos.